share with you some of my favorite tips and tricks that I picked up along the way in my years of training, stuff that's really helped me and helped my clients see success and progression inside and outside the gym. Let's get into it. My favorite variation of the face pull is actually a little bit different than probably some of the face pulls you've seen other people doing. People think of the face pull, they don't necessarily think of a shoulder health exercise. A lot of people think of it as a upper back hypertrophy exercise, which for sure it definitely can be. It can be a great way to hit your rhomboids or your rear delts if you bias it or cue it correctly. But I want to show you the variation I absolutely love for cueing external rotation, protecting the shoulder, opening up your posture, and just making sure that you don't have any deficiency-related training injuries down the road, because internal and external rotation deficiencies can be a huge problem, and it's something that a lot of people have naturally from either just poor posture or not necessarily having great body control. So let me show you how I set up for this one and what makes it such a great exercise. Starting position for this is very, very similar to how most people would start for a face pull. You'll notice some people do a face pull this way, some people do a face pull holding onto the ball, that I pull it this way. They're all fine, they're all different, but the way I set up for this one is a little bit internally rotated, okay, with my hands over the top. So I actually take my hand, go into internal rotation, right? And when I go into internal rotation, this means to get to where I want to get, I have to use my external rotators. And that's why I like this variation so much, because it actually helps me open up. So I get into my traditional stance and I actually will set one foot back. This helps me maintain a vertical torso. Once I'm here with both hands in internal rotation, I will open up and out, bringing the knot end of the rope towards my ears. And I find that when I cue my external rotators and my upper back to open up, I'll feel it a lot. Not just in my external rotator area, right? But in my rhomboids, my rear deltoids. And I don't need to use much weight. And I'm opening my body up, preparing it for things like pushing and pulling, protecting against rotator cuff injuries that can happen when you don't have proper shoulder stability and mobility, right? So this isn't something that I want to load up or do fast or really chase a burn on. It's something that I want to do properly, execute it with intent, open my torso up, hold the finished position. And I like to toss this in with my existing shoulder warm up at the end of my workout if I feel that I'm in this position or I've done a lot of pressing, or even with some posture or mobility work that maybe you do on an off day. It's a super versatile exercise, and it's one of the many variations of face pull out there, but it's the one that lends itself best to training safer, longer. One common mistake, and I know I touched on it a little bit earlier, is loading it up with too much weight. I want you guys to be really careful and remember we're really trying to hit that external rotation piece of the shoulder girdle, right? We want to hit one of the more fragile movements. Anytime you get the arms out and away from the body in external rotation or internal rotation, the shoulder is in a compromised position. So just know there's nothing wrong with loading it up with 10, 20, 30 pounds, the lowest portion of the cable stack. That's totally fine. That's what we're here to do, is to strengthen and kind of incorporate some of those weaker or less strong musculature.